as long as it's ready to go.
Yeah, I don't want you to pay it if you don't feel you're not satisfied.
No, it's not. It's not going to be ready for another 2 weeks. Okay, you two can go.
You want to talk though?
Oh yeah,
I do have a bunch of work, so I won't see you when I'm leaving.
oh yeah, go. Because I'll be here all night.
But I'll like go and talk.
Yeah. I talked to Jason today.
Yeah, he cancels the meeting as well. And he was like, hey, we can do it either like tomorrow, later tomorrow night, which I'm like, I can't do. Where he's like, well, we can do it. It'll be a Thursday, and I can't do it at 2:07. And then we were meeting with Joe, and I got really confused. I checked all of my correspondence, and I'm like, I don't think I planned to do this.
No, I was checking. I was checking what he was
But I was just super confused. I don't think I planned to do it.
But we can sit now and finalize. Chloe's going to be here at 7:30. So you and me can do it together.
You want to go in what?
Yeah, we'll go out. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I believe that. Like this year, yeah. I was about to.
You're pretty sure this province is secret.
Okay, so here's what I remember from last semester. Somebody from Pavin's office really wanted to meet with me, so I met with them.
Okay.
And they were asking me how to order stuff.
Okay.
And so I told them how to order stuff, and I was like, Loop and Pavin, I don't have time to deal with this. You need to go through Pavin for this. Okay. So we did. He went through Pavin.
Okay.
I don't know if that's this though.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's this, but it might not be.
Okay.
Because then somebody, I think Tiffany, told me that Catherine Walsh, or somebody from Cirque or something, had ordered t-shirts, and then we looped somebody from there in, and they were like, oh no, that's not ours. So I'm really confused as to who it is, but it's not.
We'll have to go by this order date, because it's not Catherine Walsh's if it's November 26th. So...
And it's definitely not mine, because I didn't order any t-shirts.
Yeah,
so,
we shouldn't have been.
So, I honestly don't know who it was.
Oh. And then just get on the 46 when you can.
Okay. I was waiting for Sid, because he was going to be for his staff. So now, I can do it. I was holding off till the very end.
Yep, so I can include you from the senators. I know we haven't had a...
Let me double check the Pepsi doc to see if because I'm sure. Robin just wasn't responding for a while. He just didn't.
I think we're all turned out, but there could be other reasons. Okay, so this is the one for maybe that Pepsi.
Okay, so this was definitely the stuff that we got. Yeah, this is already paid for. This is on the Pepsi Doc.
Okay. All this on the Pepsi Doc.
Yeah,
Okay,
so it's been approved.
So let me check with campus.
So it's been approved. I mean, I don't know about payment, but it's definitely been approved. It's sitting there, and it says it's been approved by Tiffany and Pavlin. So the ballpoint pens, stress relievers, and the blue tumblers.
But not this. Nothing about this. On the first one. The one that you didn't copy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this one I will check with campus.
I'm really sorry about that.
No worries.
It's annoying with you. Sorry, you can go. And we only have 3. How many more studies do we have?
4.
4.
This one and 3 more.
Is there one during Dead Week?
No. April is the month for Senate Week. That's it. There's none in May. Were you looking to do one in May?
No, no.
Okay.
Please no. So we have 4 more.
With us and just check out and see
And I think I plug this into here.
Great, thank you so much. I'm gonna pull it. It's
Do you have any tape for taping down the book?
It's fine.
Exercise caution, please.
Yeah. Thank you. What's that now? Oh, here's it.
Where's Alex?
He's coming. Yeah.
He's mad at me, I know, but
Why is he mad? He's not mad at you. He's never mad at you.
I feel we have some spirited debates on these bills. So I feel like
Yeah, well.
I don't know.
Who, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a full slate? CTO is still up, right?
Yeah. Other than that, yeah. all the officers and
Look at that list. Do you have that list?
Yeah, it's fine. It's just it's like tilted at an angle for some reason. I can't figure out why.
So, is this going to be the
I feel like we should have a more high-powered one.
Yeah. Oh, frick. Okay. I guess I'll go up.
Yo, man, where'd you get this? It's sold from my dad. I'll say that right now. Dude, we're talking about beta kind. That one kind of done.
what I'm running right now, but Day of Marathon is coming up. It's this Saturday, and I think it's right after for something which has been happening for the past 2 weeks. So I'm going to be sending you all an email with a blurb tonight, so if you could please just help us make this one final push to your constituents and to your campus organizations. I just really appreciate that. And yeah, registration is $10, and I know there's people have been asking us saying, financial concerns, I can't find anything. And honestly, we're not going to be turning away people who don't fundraise before, so. Yeah. Thank you.
Next, we have Roman. Good evening. Thank you for having me here. So my name is Roman Robles. I'm actually the center over at UC Davis, and I'm here in a few capacities. One is to extend an arm because, for a couple of reasons, really. I've always felt that I wanted to meet other UC campuses, see what kind of experiences they go through, and offer support in any way I can. I feel that connection is extremely important to me, and also contextually significant given UC Davis's renegotiations recently to re-enter the UC Student Association, so I think that connection is going to be very significant. I also want to continue to talk about things that I've been working on the UC Davis campus. I've been working on projects pertaining to mental health, working on the academic senate to include health and wellness resources and core syllabi. Also been working on starting a peer advisory program in the financial aid office and various other projects that hopefully during my term will hopefully see momentum. But most importantly, I wanted to say hello and wanted to thank you all for being here today, and thank you for having me here. I hope to get to meet you all as much as I can during my time here. And thank you very much. Next, we have Chris. Hi everyone. So my name is Chris. I just wanted to come here. I'm here on behalf of the Open Computing Facility. I want to take a few minutes to talk about what the Open Computing Facility does and what its relationship with the ASUC is. So as a lot of you probably know, last year we became an official program with the ASUC, so similar to in the ASUC. We provide a lot of services already to the ASUC. So for example, we're helping with hosting the website, we're helping with hosting the mobile app, things like that. We also provide a lot of services to students. So we have about 7,500 student members, one of the largest and most inclusive student organizations on campus. And we also provide services to about 1,000 different student organizations. Services we provide include our computer lab that's on Southside right now in West Gym. We also provide free printing at the computer lab, web hosting, email hosting, things like that. And additionally, as you know, us along with a lot of other organizations will be making a move this year. We're actually moving into MLK. And the space is about twice as large as our current space. We're really excited about this. It allows us to do a lot of things we haven't been able to do already. So for example, I'll be able to not only have some computer lab, we have a little couch space. We're extending our hours until 10 p.m., which will make kind of a nice space for students on Southside to be able to study. So we're looking to expand those services. We're also doing things, for example, continuing to decal the use of those in our old space. So there are a lot of things that we're excited to do. We're also looking, because we became an ASUC program, we haven't had a whole lot of communication with the ASUC. In terms of ways we can help. We have a lot of staff who are very technically savvy, and obviously there are a lot of projects we'd like to help with. So I just wanted to say that if there are things you think we'd be able to help with, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Let us know. We're obviously able to support a lot of projects, especially technical projects. While I'm here, I have a small request. So as you know, the ASUC is obviously space right away is going to require purchasing about 15 computers just so we can not have like an empty computer lab. In addition to that, we have operational expenses that are going up. So we have a very detailed budget request. We will be appealing our budget. We really appreciate it. If you had 10 minutes, take a look at that. I'd love to answer any questions about what our budget is, why it's necessary, and how that's going to valuable to the community. So thank you very much.
Next on the agenda is guests. So first we have the ASUC Student Union Administration.
Hello. Hi, everyone. So, for a minute or two, I'll be me, and then I will be Kelsey, who could not be here tonight because of a family emergency thing. So, sending her good thoughts. So, for me, as I told you last week, the position for the secretaries and the secretary office manager are posted. They're still available. As of today, we have one application. I'm looking for more. I need to fill 4 positions. Please reach out. If anyone's looking for a job for next year, please have them go to the Felicity site and apply for the position. Really looking for some qualified applicants for that. If you all remember at the beginning of the year, we passed out Robert's Rules books. I'd like to start getting them back. So start digging around, see if you put them in a box, put them in a shelf somewhere. We will want to have them back before the end of the term. Hopefully by next week or the week after, I'll have a survey out to all of you to start thinking about your terms for this year. So start considering what you started, finished, what you didn't. Because whatever you write down or present, we can pass it on to the next set of class, so that way we can start on positive notes, positive climate, positive everything is possible. So please consider that. Start thinking about that now I'm finishing touches on the survey. As we finish the campaigning season, please find time to rebalance, find time for yourself, and really take time to appreciate each other, appreciate someone who may have helped out during this period. It's been rough, it's been long, so please appreciate others. Okay. For the student union, Cal Day, we will have a booth at Cal Day, so stop by for swag as usual. Usually it's across from the ASUC booth, which I think your CMO will talk about. The student hiring fair for the student union will be on April 22nd here in Anahead from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's for all positions in the student union, including facilities, events, all of that will be available during that time. The leadership team will have a retreat on May 1st. The Publication Center will have an OSCE Awards and Student Media Awards banquet on May 5th, again here in Anahead from 11 to 3. They are looking for potential student judges for any applicants, so if you're interested, you can reach out to Kelly in the Lead Center, who is organizing that. She's looking for judges for that. The food concepts that were approved for the new food court, Asado, Blue Grill, Equator Coffee, House of Pie, and the Bears Den. And then the marketing team is for the Lower Sproul grand opening is working on a campaign right now, so stay tuned. And then finally, websites are coming up. The GA has a new website. You can check that out. As well as the Student Union and the Lead Center both have new speaker websites, so you can check that out. Any questions?
Questions for Rob? Singer Porter?
Hi Rob, thank you so much for being here tonight, as always. I've gotten a couple of students who've reached out about the sustainability of the new restaurants for Lower Sprout. Do you have information on that you can maybe send to us, or information about those? I emailed Justin Hoffman.
Okay. I will look into that.
Okay.
Look at because I don't have it.
Thank you so much.
So also follow up on that, I did follow up with Kelsey and Jesse actually, and they have a lot of opportunities that they're going to be reaching out to company themselves. Any other questions for Rob? Cool, thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Next we
we have innovative design.
animated design.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you for coming. I just have a quick question about your web development. I heard it's a new part of it. You know, just sort of speak to it.
Yeah, so our web development portion is new to me. So it actually used to be there, and so we brought that experience for a while. But right now we have a web exploration tier and a web development tier. So our web exploration tier is sort of for people that are a little bit like are either CS majors or have experience in computer science or developing, but don't really have the skills to develop a website yet. So we kind of focus more on like the entirety of front-end development. So we have skilled people that are teaching that. And then web development is just developing like front-end, back-end, entire websites for members on campus or off campus.
Other questions? Senator Malcolm.
Could you kind of reiterate the scope of the services that you offer? So I know that you said that you provide free services to a lot of clubs on campus. Is there a paid option that if in case a club wants to request a little bit more from you, or how does that really work?
Right. So we do offer free services for on-campus groups. So if you're like an ASUC sponsored group or you're an on-campus student organization, the services are free. So we actually only charge for the web development services just because it's like a little bit more time-consuming and a bit more of a semester. But I'm sorry, I'm not sure we can provide a little bit more.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I want to know. Like, if the one, like which services were paid versus which ones were free.
Thank you. Other questions for animated design, Senator Pritzker?
So first I have to say, great to see Lisa here. Lisa, I know her support very, she is great friend. But my question to you all is, how can we as senators better support animated design, better support you all in leading that space? What resources can we provide? What other things can we do to help make y'all's job better?
Right. So right now we have almost 100 students in the club, and we would love to expand that. We would love to provide more services to our campus, but we do want to keep the quality of our work high, so we can get back to the community best. So right now we're kind of struggling with the budget, so that's sort of something that we would need a little bit more help with. We would like to get events on a bigger scale. Just it's pretty hard to do with our current budget right now. And we also want to keep the cost low because we want the barrier to entry to be low. So we actually only charge $30 once they join, they don't have to pay another semester fee. So it's a one-time fee, and then after that, joining the club is free. So we kind of want to keep the cost low, so we really see a little bit of that.
Yeah, just like I guess there's mostly like a scaling thing, like things that we want to do. We want to expand like other examples like the decal. We only have 3 sessions at the moment, and it's still really difficult to incorporate as many people as we have an application process where it's like we try to get as many people in as possible, but it's really difficult because we need to like kind of manage more people needs to be running more.
Other questions, Senator Malcolm?
Just one more question. What is the time frame? So, for example, the club wants to get a design done, so submit their idea. When would they get that design?
Yeah, so basically if we have it online, we have that website which is submit what you want. And basically after that, one of our team members who are basically our board for meeting tiers will contact you within a week's time. So it's like if you send it on Thursday, they'll probably contact you sometime until Wednesday or Thursday. We'll send them and be like, oh, what exactly do you want? You usually send us some specs and we want everything. And usually you do that 3 weeks in advance. We request you in advance that we like have time for you like to do your project, and on top of that, like make sure that it's done by the time.
We usually do it over 3 weeks with like 1 or 2 iterations.
But like the earlier the better.
Thank you.
stage actually.
Microphone.
All set? Alright, fantastic. I'll begin. So ASUC and engineering groups are typically very separate. Few engineering senators usually run. Usually you don't see a lot of engineering groups in there. The point of this presentation, if you can give me a slide, please. The point of this presentation is to give you a cross-section of the College of Engineering. We picked 10 groups out of our 60 total to come and present. The point of this presentation, or where we're going, is eventually many of the groups that you're about to see are absolutely huge programs that could use an extra $20,000 or $30,000. So the point of this is to let you understand what's going on in the College of Engineering. Hi, I'm Daniel. Okay.
Hi, I'm Daniel.
I'm Jared.
And we're here to present for Virtual Reality at Berkeley. We are a new student group that was founded just this February. So before we talk about that, a little bit about what virtual reality is, since it's very new. Virtual reality is a new form of human-computer interaction that's changing the way that humans interact with the digital world as well as with each other. This year, we've seen a lot of use of virtual reality technology in fields such as in the industry, in gaming, and in research. And technologies such as immersive 3D headsets and body tracking sensors are changing the way that people interact with things and breaking the barrier between physical and virtual reality.
Every major player in tech has recently invested in VR. You have Google investing $543 billion in Magic Leap. You have Facebook buying Oculus, and you have local startup Leap Motion, who is employing many Kellogg.
So what our club does is we provide access to virtual reality technology for Berkeley students. It's normally very difficult for developers to get access to this technology because it's very expensive and requires a lot of expertise. Our club allows Berkeley students to get access to this technology, and we train them on how to use it through a hands-on demo creation process. Additionally, we have research teams that work with established labs on campus. We have teams working with graduate students and researchers in labs such as Team Shankar Sastri's, the robotics lab, and some others.
We value open access to equipment and knowledge, as well as giving each student a meaningful experience. We can't grow without the equipment needed to form research teams and make demos. Each unit of equipment costs between $400 and $6,000. When we were getting started, getting additional equipment was a struggle. Without equipment, we couldn't create demos to show companies and attract sponsors. Without sponsors, we couldn't get enough equipment to start program teams and attract membership. Pros from the ESC helped us acquire equipment and allowed us to take advantage of opportunities and momentum this semester.
Yeah, this is very important to us because we are one of the first virtual reality clubs at the university level. We are the first club of our kind on the West Coast and the second in the entire nation. And so we want to make Berkeley a model school for interaction between university and industry and virtual reality. We want companies to come to Berkeley first for info sessions, for recruiting, and for access to industry professionals. We want to bring virtual reality to the entire campus public and make it more accessible. We think we can provide the equipment and the expertise to allow the general campus community to experience the joy of virtual reality.
In the future, we would like to expand and open up membership. To do this, we'll need equipment and funding months prior to launch. We'd like to host more and larger events for the campus community to experience VR, starting with Cal Day, where we'll have a table. We'd also like to host the first student-organized VR conference or expo here in Berkeley next semester. Lastly, we'd like to expand research into the fields such as game design, medical devices, and information visualization.
We are at a very pivotal point in the tech industry where we can see the big technologies of tomorrow forming today, and Berkeley is uniquely poised to be a leader in this space. We are proud to show that Berkeley students can be innovating in this space along with industry leaders. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Masha Andreeva. I'm the co-president of Berkeley Innovation, and I'm also here to speak on behalf of the growing design community at Berkeley. And this is a little bit of a different type of design than the visual design Ingrid was talking about. So if you go to the next slide, we're a human-centered design organization. So this means that we focus on user experience, product design, service design, and industrial design. So we have a lot of engineers applying to our club. And you guys can see that we have a lot of representation from tons of engineering majors and this is just for this spring. And so our alumni actually, after completing their projects in the BI, they end up at some pretty cool places. So what we do is students basically get to work on projects every semester, and they're paired with a company or organization for whom they design a user experience or product deliverable. And we worked with companies like Walmart, Full Dive, Cal Robotics, and tons more. And we do these projects for free, and many of them are implemented. So here's like a quick snapshot of a project from last semester, and this is kind of the process that the students go through throughout the semester. And we also invite guests to come in and teach us about design in the field. And this is Isaac Cross, who is an interactive designer and judge at the ISDA contest. And he came in and gave us an awesome service design workshop last semester. And we are also really focused on building a community of designers and, engineers, cross-disciplinary students who are all interested in creating usable, functional, and beautiful design work. So, you guys may have heard that there are a lot of efforts going on right now at Cal to build out this design community. We have the Jacobs Institute for Design Innovation opening up, which is going to have awesome resources and tools for anyone to access. For clubs, however, people are going to have to pay about $500 per semester to be able to use these tools and resources. And on top of that, many of the design clubs on campus do need a lot of funding to be able to get the right kind of software and hardware they need for the type of design they do. So for human-centered design, for instance, we could really use some funding for software like wireframing software, Balsamic, CAD software, and it'd be really awesome if we had prototyping tools like 3D printers. And we also put on tons of public events and design-a-thons, which are about $250 each, and including the design showcase at the end of the semester. And just to give you a better idea, 3DMC, Design Engineering Collaborative, Design for America, and InnoG as well, all of these clubs are looking to kind of connect right now under the Student Design Council and collaborate in making this, awesome design community at Cal. And fun fact, Cal is actually listed as 28 out of 30 as top design schools in the world, so I think we're going in the right direction. And more funding and support, so it'll make us closer. So if you want to know more about why design is important at Cal, or what's going on in the design scene, please come talk to me afterwards. And thank you very much for your time.
Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa Sheska and I am the Operations Director for CalSO, which is the university's solar vehicle team. And our mission is to design, build, test, and raise solar vehicles. So we have had a long-standing tradition here at Cal. We originally began in 1990, and here's every car that we've built since. You can see how it's kind of evolved, and our most recent car is actually later in the presentation, so you'll be able to see that. But also, like, along with all of these cars comes a long-standing tradition of Berkeley engineering, right? I mean, when we build these cars, it's everything from scratch. Like, for example, the motors on the back wheels, they're controlled by all the batteries and everything, right? Sort of. We build our own motor controller. That's something that you can get stock, but we take the time and we design it and we learn from the experience. So that's something that, you know, it takes our valuable time, but we also gain a lot. So when we're participating or when we're building things like that, we don't want to be distracted necessarily by fundraising and such, even though we do gain a lot from that as well. And then also, these cars have been in competitions around the world. We've participated in races in Japan and Australia, and of course the United States. And then there's potential to go places like Chile and South Africa as well. So next slide, please. These are a couple photos that we've just been using. I took all these slides from recent meetings that we've had, just so you guys are on the same page as the club. And so some of these pictures have this current car we're building. This current car we have is called Zephyr, and a lot of the supplies that you see here, it's easier for us to get supplies donated from industry than money donated from industry, because they're more willing to see, yeah, this product's going to be put to good use on the car, and these engineers are going to be learning a lot from it. So when other things come into play, like transportation costs or like vehicle support costs for the team, or insurance, for example, these are costs that are monetarily needed to be funded and not necessarily donated supplies. So that's where you guys can come in and help us. But anyway, this is just us working. We love to work on the car. So. And then, again, so you guys are on the same page as us, we have a couple upcoming events that we're really excited about and that we need help not only from our industry sponsors, which we have been keeping up with, but also from the university. We should all be excited to support one of the world's and one of the nation's best engineering programs, and this is one of the ways that we can show up. So this update is from a few weeks ago before spring break, and we're preparing to go to the Formula Sun Grand Prix, which is in Austin, Texas this summer in late July. Yeah, and it's on a Formula One track, and we get to drive the car, and there's we hope to dominate the competition. Go Bears! And so anyway, just keep in mind that as we pursue all of these, like design of a new car for the next semester, as we maintain our safety, as we participate in outreach events around campus, these things are all monetary burdens on our club, and if we are going to be doing the best job we can in engineering, it's really a balance of time. We need just as many resources as we can get, and we appreciate any support that the ASUC can give us. So thank you guys very much for your time, and have a great rest of your evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Curtis Siegfried, and I'm the project manager for the Steel Bridge competition team. Every year, we compete regionally and nationally in the National Student Steel Bridge competition, SSBC, which is hosted by the American Society of Civil Engineers and the American Institute of Steel Construction. We are one of 6 civil engineering competition teams that allows students within the civil department as well as outside of the civil engineering department to get hands-on experience with stuff that we want to get in the classroom, such as designing, using AutoCAD, SAP analysis software, which we get donated to us, that even companies don't even have as many licenses as we do. We also get hands-on experience with SolidWorks and other programs that really help us do our job. Kind of a quick rundown of the competition is we designed a 1 to 10 scale model bridge that has to support a load of 2,500 pounds. This year's bridge was just under 19 feet short, or feet long, and weighed about 70 pounds. So that's kind of where we fall in the range of use of steel, 70 pounds of steel to support 2,500 pounds. Can you go to the next slide, please? So kind of a little bit who we are. We are 30 to 50 undergraduate students, mostly civil engineers, but we do get a variety of other engineering majors as well as people outside of the engineering community. Our best welder 2 years ago was a bio major who just really enjoyed welding and working in the shop. He was a part of our team, and he's still a really good friend of mine. And then kind of one of the biggest benefits for me has been the support network. Going in classes for homework help, choosing classes, advising for which professors to avoid, which ones to take, and also professional support. My internship for this coming summer, I got because a former Steel Bridge member now works for the company, and they were putting in a strong word for me. So kind of just some benefits to our team is just networking as well. Next slide. And then so kind of our resources and funding. Our biggest two resources on our campus are the X-ray machine shop and the Davis Hall machine shop, which is where we do all of our fabrication ourselves, cutting of tubes, precision machining, and welding. So all the students do that and get trained on that, which is something really cool and that I really enjoy. But our biggest thing is funding is difficult for us. We have been able to use in the past high quality 4130 chromoly, pretty expensive steel that gives us a better material property for our competition, and it really elevates us to the next level and has allowed us to have success. But that is expensive. I spent around $3,000 on steel this year. That doesn't include the 15% discount and the free steel I got from another supplier. So it's kind of funding is big for us, and is something that really comes into play when we have to start thinking about our team and doing our budget. Other than steel, we also have a lot of other expensive gloves, safety glasses, welding masks, cutters, grinders, welding gas, which is surprisingly expensive, filler rod for our welders, etc., and then also travel. In the past, we've been able to get our department to help us out a little bit, but even then, we're still having to tap into students for travel funding, and I think that's really a big area that could use a lot of help is because companies, especially in the industry, don't like necessarily supporting for travel. They'll buy us safety glasses, they'll buy us gloves, they'll buy us steel, but they don't really like paying for travel. So a big support that we can get from you guys is other funding to assist in travel or just other ways to accomplish so that we can spend money on travel. Hopefully I didn't take too much of your time, and I will pass it on. Thank you.
How's it going? Thanks, Curtis. My name is Chris Blaylock. I'm the project manager of the concrete canoe team. Like Steel Bridge, we're one of the 6 civil engineering competition teams. We just got back from our regional competition at UC Davis, where we placed 2nd and qualified for the national competition. So we're really pleased for that. Just to kind of give a breakdown of who we are, we brought 28 people to this competition. 24 of them were engineering members, 22 of which were civil engineering. However, we did have 4 non-engineering majors. So I know a lot of people, although we do particularly recruit within the department, we have a lot of people who come on for the hands-on experience we get. What do we do? We design, construct, test, and race a canoe that's made out of concrete. I always have people ask, does it float? And if you ever see our trailer driving around Berkeley, we write right on the side, yes, it does float. In terms of how this impacts the community, it really supplements and expands upon the engineering experience. We take a lot of cool classes, learn cool concepts, however, we don't get a lot of hands-on experience. So like Steel Bridge, it gives people a chance to mess around with the materials, use equipment, use software that they might not otherwise be able to use. We kind of do this. We have 2 decal courses, one during the fall, one during the spring. It gives our members, first of all, a chance to get credits. I have probably 10 or 15 people who put in quite literally dozens of hours every week into this project. However, we also are able to kind of use this as an outreach opportunity for some of our younger members who might not know what's going on and be able to use this to train them and pass on information. So in terms of what do we use funding for, the biggest funding expenditure is just material costs. This is cement, admixtures, reinforcement, things like this. We also have testing materials. A big part of what people enjoy is being able to test, and that does take money. Also subsidizing travel costs. As Curtis mentioned, one of our big challenges is being able to afford more travel. I'm in the midst of trying to figure out how we're going to pay for my team to go to South Carolina for the national competition. So if you guys want to help out, definitely let us know. In terms of how we can improve, a lot of this does come from funding. I was looking at some of the budgets from the other teams that we've competed against at the regional competition. Most of them are 2, 3, or 4 times as much as ours. We do recognize that, as a public university, we have different constraints, but funding is a big thing. Particularly, we want to be able to expand our testing program. Because of the funding constraints, we typically have some of our older members who get to do more of this testing in order to conserve supplies and money. Also, we need to upgrade aging equipment. Because of just the general capital cost of some of this equipment, it's hard to fit in our annual budget, so we have to wait till the end of the year and hope that ESC or someone else has some extra funds left over to get these big items. And then finally, we really want to focus on purchasing more sustainable products. Unfortunately, sometimes these do cost more, but as Berkeley, we like being a leader in terms of sustainability, and that's something we really focused on this year and hope to do in the future. So that takes extra money. But as I think a lot of these teams have mentioned, funding for engineering organizations is one of the biggest challenges. I think you have the people who are dedicated, who put the time in, and getting the support from ASUC in terms of funding is really important. So hopefully that was a good breakdown, and we'll pass on to other teams.
Hey everyone, I'm Tiago Zurian, and I represent Berkeley Engineers Inventors, or BEAM for short. BEAM is an after-school outreach organization on campus, and our goal is to make science and engineering more approachable and more fun to the students in this area. And how we do that is we recruit from Cal's amazing undergraduate pool. We take about 80 to 100 Cal mentors every semester, and we split them up into 18 different groups or sites. And each site corresponds to a different school in the Berkeley Oakland area. And we send these groups to each one of the schools every week for 10 weeks. And each week, the students have an opportunity to teach a different lesson to their kids. And the lessons, our own staff members come up with them. So it's 10 different lessons, 10 different engineering and science topics. And, next slide. And how we try to impact the schools is by offering informal education. So a lot of times, kids will be going through a science class in elementary school or middle school, and they'll be hearing lectures and doing worksheets, but not really seeing what they're learning being applied to the real world. And that's our goal. We want to first teach them a topic or bring up a topic that they've already learned, and then get them to do a hands-on activity or module to see those concepts in action. And our staff does a great job of coming up with new lessons every semester to help make that happen. And overall, we want to instill curiosity when it comes to science and engineering, and also teach them basic problem-solving skills that they can use later on. Next slide. And for the Cal students that join our DCAL club, they get to first learn the lessons that they're going to be teaching every week at our weekly DCAL sessions. And in these sessions, we also teach them important people skills, like how do you reach the different kids who have different learning styles, and how to work together with your team to put forth the best product to the kids. And so really BEAM is a great mentorship and personal growth opportunity. Next slide. And basically, how funding is important is that for the kids to have the best experience, they really need their own materials so they can play around with their own hands and kind of see things for themselves. And having funding allows us to have high-quality materials that make sure that our lessons go through as planned. And that's why funding creation organizations are. Thanks for your time, and enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Hi, my name is Maureen Montague. I'm a computer engineering major, and I've been a member of the Cal Seismic Design Team for the last 2 semesters. The Cal Seismic Design Team is a civil/structural engineering focused competition team that exposes members to high-level earthquake engineering skills, mainly design and analysis, that are not typically taught until the graduate level. The purpose of our competition is to design and construct a cost-effective, 5-foot-tall, took approximately 500 man-hours to build. We have 25 members who helped in this building process, 9 of whom went to this year's annual competition, myself included. Slide, please. This year, the undergraduate seismic design competition was held in Boston, and after a week of judging, presentations, and shake table testing of our models, the Cal Seismic Design team was awarded first out of 38 international teams participating. Our design exemplified structural system design while optimizing weight, floor area, and aesthetics. In addition, our team excelled in communication. Through participation in this team, I learned about earthquake engineering design and structural analysis. Since I was able to attend the conference, I benefited from watching the formal presentations of each school and networking with professionals and allowing students from other schools. Not being a civil engineer, I still found the competition beneficial through leadership opportunities, hands-on experience with construction methods, and just learning how to present to and speak to those already involved in a specific field. Our success would not have been possible without the contributions from ASUC and ESC. Both our travel and materials costs were offset by this funding and greatly helped us to get the supplies and accommodations needed to succeed in the competition. It took approximately $10,000 to bring a team of 9 members and the shipping of the model included. Though this was a very big price tag, every single member was necessary in the process and proved to pay off in the end. Though we are thankful for the funding we have had, there is still room for improvement. For example, we lacked a level surface to work on, and we would like to purchase a high-quality tabletop for future construction purposes. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Penny Ching. I am the Director of Pioneers in Engineering. We are a STEM outreach organization here at UC Berkeley, and we inspire students to build cool things by building themselves. Currently, this spring semester, we host a high school robotics competition for about 24 high schools here in the East Bay. And so this year, the challenge is fashion friendly. So the robots need to be able to gather plastic food off of tables, and they can also flip tables for extra points. So this is why robotics is a really great way to set out your huge, great mechanical, software, and electrical engineering all in one very visible, instant feedback package. The problem is that robotics is really expensive. Which is the foremost high school competition in the nation for robotics. One team spends about $30,000 to $60,000 a year on one robot. So we are the number one public institution in the world, but we are next to some of the worst public schools in the nation. And so this kind of funding is not available, and there's not the membership available. So we are trying to make this accessible and also get our engineers to give back by producing this knowledge. So with the budget of one, maybe average funded first team, we serve 24 high schools here. And so we build the kit and design it and use it and fund everything for our students so that they don't have to pay $5 million entry fee and they're not constrained by cost when they want to do something. We design a game that teaches these set of concepts. We have a TCOP for 2 mentors, so each team gets 2 to 3 UC Berkeley students who they can look to as role models as well as technical directors. And we put up 5 big season maps every year at UC Berkeley for these students. They come here, they are part of the bigger students, they come here, they're attached, and that's their high school. So, last slide. I really invite you to check out our events. This Saturday, we're hosting scrimmage in the First Memorial Line Building. So if you want to see ASUC, COE, just general corporate sponsored jobs, and actually giving back to community right around this, from this Saturday, we're here from 9 to 5. Students will be working on their robots, testing things out on the field, getting ready for a fun competition, which is at Lawrence Hall of Science, end of April, April 25th and 26th. So if you really want to see how close I'm going to be back on campus and bring you a visit, I'll be there. You can see me running around up their stuff and see exactly how this money can really make an impact on the community. And if you're curious, we also have social media that will show all the pictures from the season as well down here. All right, thank you very much. Pass it on to Ms. Smith.
Good evening. My name is Neha Kumar. I'm a third year bioengineering and material science major. I'm here representing the Biomedical Engineering Society, also known as BMES. So, who are we? We are an organization run by students, for students, interested in learning which means that we do not charge any membership fees for students to join. Our events are open for everyone to come and check us out. We emphasize building a close-knit community of students, alumni, and professionals to help members achieve personal and professional goals. Our recurrent projects include networking dinners, poster sessions, mentor-mentee activities, outreach events to the larger community, and informative panels and interactive workshops. Along with continuing and growing our current projects, we are seeking funding to help us plan a BMES summit with other campus chapters, such as San Jose State and UC Davis. We also wish to improve student resources and host more activities designed to connect members with faculty and professionals. The bioengineering industry is new and rapidly growing among all the current pre-existing engineering fields. Organizations like BMES are extremely critical and valuable as they help students navigate this realm. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Leslie. I'm the treasurer for Society of Women Engineers, and we are a club that supports women in engineering. And we really strive to create an environment to help women engineers thrive and to develop academically, professionally, socially, or in any other aspects of where they want to grow. So our events focus in three different categories: social, professional, and outreach. And some of our professional events, our biggest one is called Shadow Engineer. We started the program 2 years ago, and it happens during lunch break and spring break. And we partner with around 30 different companies, and they take on students to shadow an engineer in their company for 2 days. So we would really like to grow this program. So currently we have 30 companies who participate, and we get around 100 applicants, but we're only able to send 30 students. So we really like to grow that program. And we also do a lot of outreach events. So a really big outreach event we do is overnight host program. We partner with Engineering Student Services to invite every single female engineer that has been admitted to Berkeley to come and spend the day at Cal, day before Cal Day. So we provide different engineering panels, we take them on campus tours or lab tours, and we also partner with other engineering groups on campus to provide activities for them to kind of show them what they can be involved with at Cal. And we also start teaching people about engineering even when they're in elementary school. So we have a very big elementary school, middle school, high school outreach program. Every single month we have an event called Sweet Science Saturdays where we invite about 40 elementary school students to come onto campus and be involved with an engineering activity. So it's building race cars or rockets or bridges. And this is where we could use a lot more help and funding because we have to provide the supplies to build the cars or bridges, and currently we can only support 40 students, and we always have a wait list around 50 more students. So we like to be able to take every single student that applies to the Sweet Science Saturday and let them come to the event. Lastly, we have an event called Mini University, where we invite high school students in the Berkeley area to come to Berkeley for a day, and we show them what it's like to be an engineer, because we find that a lot of high school students don't actually know what being an engineer means. So we invite them to campus, take them to labs, show them different activities. So one of the activities is dissecting a part. And so that was what we did last year, but it always ends up being like 20 students to one part, but we'd like to provide more. That sounds weird, but we'd like to provide more parts so that students can get a little more one-on-one attention. So yeah, those are some of the programs we like to do. And thank you for your time.
Hi everyone, I'm Rahul Batra. I'm the professional liaison for Berkeley's chapter of Engineers Without Borders. So, next slide please. Our chapter of Engineers Without Borders was founded in 2009, and in 2011 we received our first project, which is in southern Peru, and we're working on arsenic remediation. So for the past 5 years we've been working on this project. And the aim of our chapter is to really bring together both engineers and non-engineers to work towards a common goal of philanthropic engineering. Next slide. So I was fortunate enough to be able to travel to Peru last summer where we worked on this arsenic remediation project. And essentially the groundwater there is highly contaminated with arsenic, so we seek to mitigate that problem. So some of the things we do engineering design using software like AutoCAD to design, in this case, a rainwater catchment system. And we also do lab bench scale research over in the College of Engineering to research different coagulants to remove arsenic from the groundwater. Next slide, please. So here you can see a rainwater catchment system that we installed in Peru, and we've installed this in several different schools in 2 different communities in Peru. And we've been there, we travel every summer and winter, and so we've traveled for the past 5 years. So that's about 10 trips. Each trip costs about $6,000, sometimes more, depending on whether it's an implementation project or a monitoring project. So as you know, all of these clubs mentioned, travel costs are definitely the biggest cost for our student group. We also do a lot of education and outreach for the children in the communities, and basically educating them on the dangers of arsenic. We also install household filters for the families in these communities. Next slide, please. So just overall, how ASUC can help our chapter in terms of funding, travel. You know, I think what really makes our chapter of Engineers Without Borders unique, and the whole mission of Engineers Without Borders, is that we help students here at Cal develop their engineering skills, but I think more importantly, we help the world abroad, and we help developing countries that otherwise would not have access to clean water and basic human needs. So thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Great, we're done. Thanks so much. Again, most competition teams that you see probably have a budget or expenses in the range of maybe 50 grand or so. A lot of the, to take 10 people across the country probably takes about 10 grand included. A lot of the social organizations that you see have, maybe in the order of 1 to 5 grand of expenses that they're looking at. So we had 10 times the amount of budget that we do right now, we would be able to make very good use of it. I think that's the end of our presentation. We would love to hear any questions if anybody has some. And if you want to share more, just search engineering student groups. There's lots more of us, or we'd be glad to come back with others. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out and taking the time to give us this really thoughtful presentation. Appreciate it. My question, I have 2 related questions. The first is, what percentage of all students are engineers, and then what percentage of engineers are in ESC-sponsored clubs?
Sure. So there are 3,700 engineers and 25,000 students. What? Okay. So 3,700 divided by 14.4 answer there. Or, no, sorry, hold on. Watch, I'll do the calculation for you. 3.7 divided by... Okay, 14%. That's the number of undergraduates that we represent, and the answer is very close to 100%. We have maybe 2 or 3 clubs that don't apply to ESC, usually just because they get confused by the ASUC emails. The way that often ends up working out is that they decided to be with ESC, and so they apply to us.
Hi, thank you all for coming. I just wanted to speak on behalf of the Academic Opportunity Fund, because I think a lot of y'all apply for that, and I wanted to just be transparent with monetarily how that works. Because Lavanya and I, still on that committee, we felt pretty guilty. Instead of denying groups money and giving one group a ton of money, what we try to do is give a lot of groups a little bit of money. So please apologize to your groups if Academic Opportunity Fund isn't giving them as much money as they need, because we know there's a need for it, and we're hearing it. I know FICOM's going to be probably working out something. Just wanted to give that a statement so y'all can communicate back to your communities. And keep applying, because it's awesome.
We do really appreciate, again, you keeping us in mind with that. You are someone in need, so when they apply to ESC.com, if anyone ever mentions travel, the first thing that I say is also please apply to
To give you to be transparent, we had 21 applicants this week, and the average people were asking for was $500, and everyone was qualified. So it's we can talk offline. I'm sorry. I understand. Yeah, it stinks. We don't have the money. It's the problem. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Other questions? Passing. Blue.
Yeah, we gotta pass the blue referendum. We can get on.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming in, first of all. Second, I just wanted to specifically ask about Pi, Beam, and Sui. I think you were talking about different events to, I apologize if I missed anyone here. You're talking about different events about bringing people who aren't necessarily Cal students onto campus to experience kind of a bit of what we do here. I was wondering if you could speak more to what different resources are required for those sorts of events where you're not just talking about Cal students, but instead reaching out to a larger community.
Alright, so you're talking about different kinds of resources. So for what we cover, I think we're really different from Beam and Sweet because they do a lot of mentoring throughout the school semester. And what we do is 8 weeks of intense workshopping and things like that. So that involves making sure mentors can go out to people because a lot of these students don't have parents who can take them out. Or they're in areas where they're more educated. So we do have transportation costs that we have for our mentors in order to keep them so that's one big thing. Other thing for us is, again, everybody has it in some sense because when you do STEM, you're going to have some kind of material cost. It's not like some things where you can just have a piece of paper or have empty state here, you can work on something here. So for us, the robot cost, switch is really high. Raw materials, electronics, even motor controllers. We try to develop stuff in-house ourselves. So raw material cost is lower. We've gone partnerships before. So on that side, we're working a lot with corporate sponsors for that. We're really grateful for that. Usually it's on the side of working with event planning for us. That's actually an issue because there's insurance for high school students coming on campus. That's the more expensive than insurance in general. So I think usually had a policy. But there's things like that. There's also things like just rooms and some of the nicer rooms here at Berkeley cost a lot of money to reserve. That's a perpetual question for me. How much are we actually paying on per quarter? I don't quite know, so I'll just budget over every time to make sure it's what other things? Those are the big ones. Yeah. Under general organization overhead, right? Our staff, just general materials and our stuff. But that's what. But yeah, that's what.
For SWE, the costs are about the same. Materials costs are right now for our SWE Science Saturdays, we utilize things like straws for coffee sticks, but we like to do something a little more advanced than just straws and pieces of wood. And then there's also room reservation fees, and then especially when we're taking students for an entire day, we have to feed them, and food can cost a lot, especially when there's 80 high school girls in the room. I can feed them all. Yeah, those are my costs.
So if you want to buy service, something we're working on is making sure that our kids actually sees what our students know. So what we realized this year is that you can't just throw stuff anything at them and expect something to come out. You have to design to do with what you're seeing from students coming in from architectural, or students coming in working with us so being able to bring in students into here's a short duration of what you can do about it. That's also a big now because that on the budget line that was really bad money why are you all with the service here, right? So not services.
So y'all know, I don't think Council actually gave some exact numbers. I was wondering if you could just let the rest of the vendors know exactly what the cost is to build your solar car and how much corporate sponsorship you're getting and how much, what that actual cost is because it is a lot.
Sure. Okay. So Council operates on a per car budget of about $2
thank you. I'm glad you just brought it up. The reason I bring it up is you'll probably hear today meetings that are always talking to you all about how engineering clubs always need more funding. I just wanted to put that number out there so you understand that it's not like, yes, there's 70 engineering organizations, but there are also that are very, very big organizations that operate on a huge budget. So I just want you all to keep that in mind.
Other questions? Senator Prescott? Hey everyone, so thank you for coming, and not to look past the real concerns that different folks have brought up around cost tonight, but for you all, what would other ways for us in the Senate class, how else can we support you, I guess is my question, would that be, because our funds are limited as student government, as student body, we really contribute so many funds, we really have so much revenue coming in, other stuff. So would it be supporting you all on like letters with your applications to some commercial folks, or what other things could we do to really help you out if it wasn't just money?
Okay, two. One is insurance. So a lot of the times these teams don't compete here, and ASUC and Elite Center only has insurance that covers you for on-campus events. So if you're participating in high-risk competition or something, then you will need to apply for third-party insurance or be associated with the university. So now, because of this distinction that we have, it makes it really difficult for any of us to necessarily be liable while we're not on campus facilities. And another thing that I think would be helpful was when I jumped into this operations role, I wasn't in the Girl Scouts, so I was really bad at asking people for money. My mom was rude. And so maybe a couple workshops just like explaining what industry likes and doesn't like at the beginning of the year and like the best way to ask them. That helps.
This is going to be our last question, so everybody.
So Brad, can you go over the funding limits for organizations when someone asks?
I'm sorry?
The funding restrictions you have for requests that comes from the fund?
Sure. So the way this works is because there's so much need, engineers decide which engineering groups get. As far as specific funding restrictions, I think really our only one is that since we get so many travel costs, we never pay more than $2,000 if anyone travel with the team, no matter how many you take. Beyond that, though, the way it works is there's a panel of 9 people, most of whom are either a treasurer or president of a student club. Curtis, you're on this, or last week?
Treasurer was.
Yeah, okay. But anyways, basically, a lot of it's kind of like a board of treasurers from the various organizations. You have to be a junior or a senior, with very, very rare exceptions. You have to have very demonstrated club experience so that you know what's going on in the College of Engineering. And then you have those 9 people. We also have 2 ESC representatives. They are not allowed to vote, so it is the community that decides, but ESC, their job is to say, oh yeah, these guys came back last year, this is what they did. So kind of that continuing on, I guess, passing down the knowledge, like, oh, when people first walk in and say, oh, these are competition teams, they're going to need a lot of money for this. I guess leadership pipeline brings some consistency to the pipeline. But anyway, that's the short answer. It's only $2,000 is our only hard number, but beyond that, it's just basically engineers deciding which engineering groups.
Cool. Thank you so much. Moving on to executive officer reports, both President Padilla and Mr. Alvarez, Vice President Quinn, will be able to coming up, Academic Affairs Vice President, Chen Zhao.
as the year is wrapping up, how do you kind of judge the performance of the directors of the grants in terms of like responsiveness to student groups? I'm just curious because I've had some people that have had great experiences with the grants and then others that have had less great experiences. I'm just curious if you're reaching out to the student groups at all to see their reaction.
We've created plans, strategic plans to as effectively market as possible. Some grants and scholarships are only applicable to certain groups, and so we've done very targeted outreach. Overall, I think that my departments have done very well in adjusting to the massive expansions and overhauls that these grants and scholarships themselves have seen in the past year. Even from last year to this year, there were 3 or so new scholarships created, and so on top of building a new staff and having that staff almost go under jeopardy over this past year and adapting to various changes, I think we've done very well. That said, it's pretty clear from your remarks that there are some departments or some specific grants and scholarships that have not performed as well as others, and that's to be expected of any office. There's only so many people who can work in each part of the office, and so it also comes down to individual leaders. I try to encourage seeing themselves as students first and taking care of their basic needs first, and so everyone has a different place, and I try to be very understanding of that. However, if anybody has feedback on their experience in grants, feel free to email me and to CC the respective coordinator, that's either Anais or Kathy. Anais is the grants coordinator and Kathy is the scholarships coordinator.
Other questions?
AOF directors are killing it, and they do find out really much. We need more, but thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Next, we have Sam.
Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Currently have 13 conduct cases, 12 academic, 5 financial aid, and 6 grievance cases, for a total of 36. In terms of sexual violence prevention policy, we had a all-day meeting today with Haley in UCOP in Oakland. Talked about education and training for the UC system. We made actually some really good progress today. I was pretty happy with what we were able to get some conclusions about what education training needs to look like, and hopefully we've finalized those recommendations over the course of this month. The adjudication group's meeting again on April 29th to discuss what the adjudication model is going to look like. So that's my main updates on that. And also we've been working with athletics to do training for all the athletes. So over the course of the next week or two, we're going to be training all 800 of them. They're coming into the 10 different sessions. And where we help them develop the material, we work from Audie's office, and we've got grievance case workers from our office helping them do that. So hopefully that's going really relatively well. The feedback so far has been positive. After every session, the athletes are giving us feedback about what's working, what's not, so we're trying to tailor it and make it relevant for those folks. So those are my main updates. We're also working on the banking consolidation. I've reached out to some of you in the working group. Please respond if you have time. If you want to get us together. There have been some less than exciting updates. One issue that's arisen was some, I think, conflicting information about what was going to be on the table in terms of Lower Sprout. And we're trying to work to get everyone on the same page, but it's going to be a little bit of a more frustrating than I hoped it would be, so I think we're going to get on the same page and make sure we're working together. So please be responsive. We're going to send the emails to all of you that want to work on that. And those are my main updates. And if I'm happy to answer any questions on the horizon.
Questions for Rishi? Thank you.
Okay.
basically everything is pretty much set to move forward. Like I updated y'all briefly a couple months ago. We're going with the credit card right now rather than the declining balance card, which is the savings and debit card. Mostly because they're still working out all the issues in terms of security issues, whatever, on the Union Bank side. On the credit card program side, however, it's pretty much done. We will be pretty much the first university where we're working with them on this, and so based on how this actually works moving forward, we'll also encourage other universities as well, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's currently just going through the waves right now, and the pilot program, so this is not necessarily the fault of anyone per se, but because of different security issues, etc., and this also being the first time this has ever happened, they've been hashing out a lot of stuff on the back end, and so that's why the program has been really slow and not necessarily engaging with a lot of consumer organizations, but they do want to incorporate an actual full-on pilot program this summer, which I know isn't the most ideal situation, but that has to happen in our qualifications to be causing for the fall semester. So if you have any organizations in mind that might be interested in going through the pilot program that is here in the summer, we obviously want a very diverse group of organizations doing the pilot program, and so please let me know about those organizations. The ASUC banquet is on May 2nd, from 30 to 4. Please invite all your staff. Please invite, why is everyone giving me the look? Please encourage all your staff to come out to the event. It's your life. It's the last time we'll ever see you in ASUC setting class, so please come. Lastly, the AVP office has held 15 hours of space allocation interviews this entire week. And to perspective, each interview was only 10 minutes long. So a lot of interviews primarily moving the I told you all this a couple weeks ago, but we received 450 applications for space. 120 of those
I'll look at the emails again.
It's a very rigorous process, and I do want to be transparent about some of the criteria that we're using. So one is that student organizations that currently have space in first gen will get priority. That's always been the case. That has been something that's been transparent over many years now, especially because the organizations that are currently in first gen are the ones that, through multiple rounds of interviews and multiple years of interviews, have demonstrated willingness for space. Secondly is that the student organization does not have any other available space to use right now. And the last one is will not use the office or cubicle space for storage. So if at any point during their interview they mention that, or I mean obviously we tell them that we can't store it here and then we go to cache this instead. And so that's been a large part of our interview processes where they thought they could store stuff in the cubicle office spaces and then they decided they would cage space somewhere in the actual office spaces. So that's the primary criteria that we're using. In addition, we're looking at user sponsorship for different organizations, but also looking at what type of organizations are currently applying for space. So there's most of them out of cultural organizations, service organizations, and publication organizations, and so we're going to prioritize those organizations in that order. Cultural, service, and publications. And also, to be completely honest, those three type of organizations have been demonstrating the best, or not best, but like the most lead during their interviews about the different benefits that they would be receiving for getting actual business space. So, so those are my updates. Questions? Y'all are really quiet today. Moving on to ASUC official reports. First, we have elections and
I'm not, but
Hi everyone. I'm Jenny.
busy with preparing and getting ready and facilitating elections. So far it looks like there's been a pretty good turnout in terms of the number of voters for how long that it's been. This isn't like a definite number yet, but from what we can see, we've seen about over 10,000 of like unique addresses visiting our elections page site, which doesn't necessarily mean there's 1,000 votes in there, but at least those are people that are logging in from different sites, so that's very good progress. We hope to continue encouraging students to vote and knowing that it really has a great impact on the student community. So please remind everyone that elections end tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. Not only do they get to voice their get to make a voice, but also they'll get a 20% off student store discount coupon, which is also great. Also, there was an issue brought to us about exchange students voting. So after discussing this further with Rob and other officers, it seems that exchange students are allowed to vote, and if they had any trouble logging into CalNet to vote using the website, then what they can do is visit us during our polling hours at the polling station, so that will be 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow at Donnell, Kroger, and Northgate. If they have issues with those hours, we can have them email me as well, elections@asuc.org, but we'll be able to give them paper ballots, and what they will need to do is show us their current class registration and a piece of photo verification, and having that, we'll be able to give them the paper ballot to vote. So the next thing is that Natalia also can't make it tonight, so I'll be speaking a little bit on her part too. We'll be having the Elections Council meeting this Friday at 5:30 p.m. It'll be at the Senate Lounge, and we'll be discussing violations, campaign spending audits, also our recommendation to FICOM regarding the council budget for the next year, due to some concerns about the feasibility. In addition, regarding the violations that have been brought to us, there have been quite a few very recently in the past day or two. A high number of them are related to harassment or solicitation emails, so please be very careful about this and let members of your party, your friends know to not be sending out emails to anybody that they don't know, as we currently have almost 10 cases that are related to this. In addition, we'll also be looking over the campaign spending audit, so we'll be kind of giving out some more information during the meeting there as well. So regarding last week's Elections Council meeting, the past 3 temporary rules, we sent them out, but to kind of go over them again, they all kind of relate to the mandatory cleanup session, but the first one is an amendment to election bylaws 4101, section 3.2.5, and we have amended it to read coordinating the mandatory cleanup day in which all candidates are required to attend in person to clean up the campus and community on the Saturday following the election. Primary sponsors for referenda and party signatories or their designated proxies will also be required to attend the mandatory cleanup day. And the next temporary rule is an amendment to election bylaws 4203, section 5.10, and it reads, failing to attend and participate in the mandatory cleanup day or the predetermined makeup cleanup day that shall be established in the Elections Council on the Saturday following the elections. And then the last temporary rule says amendment of election bylaws 4205, section 1.5 to read, if any proponent or opponent of a proposition is found to have violated the bylaws, the proponent or opponent shall be assessed the corresponding sanction up to and including the disqualification of the proponent or opponent subject to the Judicial Council's discretion. So kind of to sum it all, this just says that candidates are required to attend the event fully, and they can't send proxy. Meanwhile, proposition primary sponsors and party signatories will also have to attend fully, but they may send a designated proxy. And this is to either the mandatory cleanup day or the makeup session. And I sent out an another reminder just earlier about if you need to request a makeup session for cleanup day, then to email me before midnight tonight. And we'll have times available either Friday or next Monday. But the actual cleanup day will be Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and to meet at the steps of Sproul. So the last thing is, that is the last thing, yeah. So email me if you have any questions.
Questions for Jenny? Senator Sue?
Hi. I was wondering if I could go for myself as well as the wellness referendum policy.
Yes, I think as long as the wellness referendum primary sponsor emails and says my proxy will be this person, that's
Senator Brewer?
So I was also wondering if Wes could go as the solar referendum person, but I'll email you about that. And secondly, a question about cleanup day. How are you going to be doing that? Because last year was like the biggest waste of water ever in a drought. That was disgusting. So I could not physically do that again. Can we change that?
Yeah, so we won't be going into the streets to clean up chalking. Unfortunately, that means the chalking won't be cleaned up by the mandatory cleanup day, but we are very considerate of the environment, don't want to waste water, especially drought, so we'll be more focusing on campus and going into buildings, cleaning up any sorts of like flyers, any literature, whether it's on our council's part or candidates' part.
Other questions? Cool. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
Next, we have Chief Financial Officer Jennifer Lee. Chief Accountability Officer Henneke.
So this is a reminder that your lobby requirement is due this Thursday, the last day of elections. But I'll be collecting reports for it up until next Monday. That's when I normally collect reports, so it just makes sense for me to have it then. And this Friday, I'll be going over committee absences with my office. If you have any questions, I did email out the list that I work off of, so take a look at that, and that's it for me.
Questions for Heidi?
Hi, thank you for coming. For lobby requirements, if we submitted a form and there wasn't a problem with it, then we would have received an email or anything, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna look over all the later ones. I already sent out like a confirmation for those who sent it to me a bit earlier, but I did receive yours, and it looked good. So the thing is that the bylaw actually stated that you have to submit it a week after you lobbied, and that. So I wasn't considering those who didn't submit it on a timely manner. However, after talking with Natalia, on Monday, I considered, because it did go in the spirit of the bylaws, to actually just complete the requirement. So a few of you did send it to me this semester when you completed it last semester. So I'm just going to relook at it, and I'll let you know if there were any follows, but it looked fine to me.
Okay, thank you. Please accept it.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. My question is, what's actually the repercussions for not doing it?
Oh, you get a committee. Absence.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Hal Day is in 2 weeks, or a week and a half, I guess. So we're working with student union to do outreach for ASUC and student union. So we're going to have a lot of swag and a sign-up sheet was sent around to you all. I think a lot of people have been signing up, so thank you. We're also going to be doing a social media campaign that week to kind of get students excited, and also we'll be promoting the student store. I'm transitioning Chloe. I've been meeting with her a lot, so that's happening. I've started meeting with Tiffany. We're meeting monthly. She's the student union marketing director. And we're going through sort of beginning to come up with policies for the digital signage in the new building, figuring out how student union, GA, and ASUC, and student organizations are going to share the signage and like what's going to be able to go up there, how do student groups get their events and their posters put on the digital screens, so they're going to be in the lobby of Ashland Hall. Student union marketing is going to also offer a few other resources for students. So students will be able to get banners printed for slightly cheaper than what you would be able to get at like Copy Central, let's say. So I'm working with her, and I'll be working with her over the summer and with Chloe as well to make sure that the digital signage in the new building is, the policies are created. Yep.
Hey Joe, I just wanted to talk to you about, I don't know if you've had this conversation before, but Kelly Moore from the Publications Department of the Student Union talked to me through like STFC about potentially having the ASUC take on the role of publishing student apps and being the person basically an enterprise license to publish on the iOS store. I don't know if that's something that would fall under the CCO purview or not.
Sort of. I mean, I guess it'll be CTO if that happens, but yeah, I need to meet with Kelly anyway, so hopefully this week I'll schedule a meeting with her. Okay. It's going well. So me and James, the website secretary, are sort of finalizing the content that's going on the website. We've been going through all of the old websites and taking all the bills, all the Senate minutes, and then all the content, like it's actually 10 pages about the ACC. And then I've been writing some more content as well for different parts of the website that just haven't existed yet, so we don't really have anything on College right now. So I've been pulling from the College website and also writing some more content. So yeah, launch date I think is I want to say the 21st. It's coming up in the next couple of days. I'll let you know more about that next week.
Kind of comment also. Yeah, so everyone, because I have it here, I just texted Joe like a few minutes ago because what the engineering people said when they spoke to me and that we really should be offering some type of like, especially coming from Vicom, workshops on ways that they can get money and approaching others and asking for money. So I'm going to be hosting a corporate sponsors workshop because I'm at Vicom, so I would like everyone to get involved in that. If you have any other things that you know how to do, let's just host workshops. That would be great. Thank you. And Joe said he'd help me do it, so I'm going to Joe.
Any other questions? Moving on to the reports. First, we have Governance and Internal Affairs Chair, Senator Lee.
So SB 71 and 83 were postponed until the next meeting, and SB 81 and 82 passed. SB 80 was sent to Vicom. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to University and External Affairs, Chair Spencer.
So this week in committee, SB 76
everything. We dipped around $100 to carry forward, which is not that bad. Unfortunately, sorry. It was $100. And we try to stay as consistent as possible with the year, but I do want everyone to know that I mean, it was very hard to do that, and a lot of students actually got less money than they would have traditionally gotten if they applied earlier or if they had more money. So the caps actually went down a lot more, and in my opinion, I don't think it's fair. It sucks, but it happened. Also, spring budgeting is next week. We emailed a few student groups and programs, I think, to kind of come back in, because we all collectively talked about how some groups were actually allocated more money than we think they should have been initially, so they're coming back again into the appeals. So that's going to be an interesting conversation with more details on what groups we told to come back to talk to any of us. And we also talked about different criteria around spring budgeting that we want to keep in mind. I'm just going to let you all know what we've been thinking about. If you have other suggestions that you think are important, please tell us. So we want to keep in mind the growth of student groups and looking at how much the student groups will grow in the near future when allocating money. We want to keep in mind how much the students pay to the ASUC. Looking at student groups who demonstrate the most need for funding, student groups who demonstrate the importance of needing funding to effectively address campus climate issues, as well as looking at the accessibility to alternative resources of funding for student groups, because some groups may have more access to alternative funding than others. So those are just a few things that we want to keep in mind for spring budgeting. If there's anything that you want to talk about, please tell us now, because spring budgeting is next week, and we want to make sure that we're reflective of everyone's concerns. That's pretty much it.
I guess it'll happen when it gets there, but like in the event that like ours you get less money, but the goal of the referendum passes, like will they still come back? Blue, sorry. I don't know, it's just like a hypothetical.
Yeah, like we haven't, I don't think there's a way to allocate the funding knowing that, so the way we're going to be allocating it is like thinking that the blue didn't pass. Because we technically do not have that money in our hands to do anything about it. So yeah, so I guess next year that will be taken into account. That's my understanding of what we want to discuss. I don't know if you know we can do a different process with that.
I'd be open to the idea of, I mean, a lot of that was going to be discretionary, so we can for y'all to decide as a answer, or we can answer it or not. It's totally fine. But in terms of student education, it's more responsible not to allocate that right now, because we are always allocating more. Yeah, so Mercy.
Hi. Sorry I agree with that, but I think that another way we could approach this is pushing the student groups that will be affected by blue back to the week after tabulation, so we know whether the blue referendum has passed or not, and then allocating the money then. Because we're going to have spring budgeting days after anyway.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I just don't think the 20 of us have all properly decided exactly what the breakdown is going to be and how much of it is going to go to programs, how much of it is going to go to student groups, how much of it is going to go to Cal Lodge. We haven't had that conversation. So if it passes, I think we'd have to have really extensive conversations about prioritizing that money before we could, and it would be too late to even be going back to student groups for this fiscal year, but maybe next FICOM would have another realignment process maybe in that direction.
Any other questions? Well, thank you. Any objections? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Moving on to the consent calendar and immediate consideration.
I want to pull SB 78, and it's just going to take like literally 2 seconds. In the second to last, therefore be resolved clause, it says. I just want to make it
SB 78 has been put for immediate consideration. Senator Brother?
Well, SB 79.
SB 79 has been put for immediate consideration. Cool. Cool. I would like to entertain a motion to pass the consent calendar.
So moved.
Objections? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Moving on to immediate consideration, we're going to first go with SB 78. In support of the Happiness Campaign.
So, in the second to last, therefore be resolved clause, it says dispersing half of us in our term, or should say dispersing with a P. Disperse is for money, disperse is for things, so we should make that end. I move to change disperse to disperse.
Motion passes by unanimous consent. I would like to entertain a motion to pass SB 78.
Second.
Objections? SB 78 has passed by unanimous consent. Moving on to SB 79, a bill against officers.
Hi, so really quickly, SB 668 was in the California Senate, written by Senator Connie Lepia. And after she read the op-ed that Savannah Ball and I wrote for the Daily Bruin to say, along with a lot of other things and a lot of other pressures, she decided to pull the bill and other language. So we are super excited that that has happened. So I will be indefinitely postponing this bill, and we don't need it anymore, which is great. So I would like to make a motion to indefinitely postpone SB 79.
Second. Objections? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Cool. Moving on to new business. 2 things I need to add. Senator Broder onto the just passed real estate and capital projects board, and the appointment of Senator Hirschman and Senator Broder onto the FNC 76 committee.
For the real estate board, am I being appointed as the co-chair?
Seconded. Any objections? Those 2 items have been added to new business. So we have SB 12, SB 83, SB 84, SB 85, SB 12, which is FICOM, SB 83 to external, SB 84 external, and SB 85 to external.
Actually, can we go, is it possible to go back to FB 1011? Or do we have to be on it, FB 12? Okay, well, there was, remember last week when we passed money for Cal Lodge? It wasn't put into the finance bill. So even though we said it on the floor, we could look back at YouTube and we saw it, it's like not in the edited document, and CalOps really needs to get funded. So like, can we
So
correct that?
technically, since it should be in the minutes, we should just change it.
Okay, that'd be great.
So I'd like to send those well, I would like to make a suggestion to send those books.
So, change
Objections. Cool, thank you everyone. Moving on to announcements. Let's start with centers on.
Just quick announcements, more like my office projects and stuff. I think a lot of things are wrapping up. I'm going to be meeting with the directors later on this week, so once you finalize more about the exploited, a few folks are working on like just different, like a short documentary about the ACAD community at Berkeley, like kind of representing the community. So I think there's a lot of things happening, but it's still finalized. So I'm meeting with them later this week, so I will let you all know. No.
Go Bears.
Okay, so lots of announcements per usual. Yay! Bears That Care is hiring. I just forwarded you all an email, so send it out to people and have them apply. Boston Free Cal is currently having an action, like right now at the Chancellor's, not his house, at California Hall. So they're outside California Hall, they're planning to sleep over there tonight. And there's also a breakfast in the morning, so a lot of you are planning to be there. I think that's a perfect place for some of you to be tomorrow morning. At the table where the Chancellor would ideally be sitting to talk about the fossil fuels industry. You should be there, 8 a.m., speaking at 9:30. Yeah. If you have questions about that, let me know. There's a class pass forum tomorrow night, and they've sent me a bunch of emails to remind everybody to come. So, reminder, come. I've talked a lot about how much we need advocates on our campus and how basically because of the lack of, the excess of students coming in and needing advocates, we pushed really hard and got somebody to come in for the next month or so until the new advocate is hired. So she started, which is super, super, super exciting, and we now have 2 advocates in the office, which is huge, and I think it's really helped Monty already be able to handle the caseloads, because there's just so many and it's ridiculous right now. Today was the sexual violence, sexual assault final UCOP conference in Oakland. I think there actually is going to be one other, but we did vote on some exciting stuff. We decided not to move forward with an application, which is quite exciting, I must say. And so that is really big. Also, Megan Warner was awarded the Glamour Top 10 College Women today for her work on sexual violence, and I think that's really, really exciting. Also, happy Passover to everybody celebrating. Happy matzah on Gilmore, because we're going to eat that until Saturday, basically only. Missouri is adopting Redefined Mind. Their student member reached out to me and wants to have a Redefined Mind walk and action and photo shoot, which is super cool. Earth Week is in 2 weeks, and there's a native plant walk this Sunday. So if you're interested in touring the watersheds of Berkeley, please let me know and I can connect you to them. Consent Week starts on Monday, and it's that week. We really need all of Senate's help, because you all talk so much about how you need to get involved with sexual assault. This is where you can help us so much. So much. We need your help on Sprout next week. We're going to be giving out consent condoms, consent stickers, consent tapes are going to be sold, and there's going to be events every single day. So please show up at those events. Help us on Sprout. Do publicity for Consent Week. It's Sexual Assault Awareness Month, so wear your teal thing. Oh my bad. And don't just wear the sticker though. Talk about it and show up. So let's bring your communities out. We're going to have so many different activities that week, and they're going to be announced, I think, tomorrow. We're having some crazy things with room reservations on that, but we'll have them for sure tomorrow. So please reach out to me and Megan and the commission to talk about Consent Week. We really need your help to make sure it is successful. The Climate Symposium is happening May 4th for sure, and there are student applications, so if any of you want to be there, which I'd love to have all of you there,
please, please, please apply and send it out to your org so they can apply and be at the event that we are planning. Also, Fight for 15 is the fast food workers group, and they're having a huge action on Wednesday on Smile next week, and it's the same time we're having a big action for sexual violence. So, woo, two really, really important things at the same time. Come out to that. Yeah, so I think that's most things. Also, the RSSP consolidation really quickly. People are incredibly upset about that, and if you are upset too, talk to Sarah Atkinson in Cal Dining for the sustainability team. She's doing a lot of organizing on that right now and trying to figure out kind of next steps, because Cal Dining was really, really, really upset with that. There were a lot of plans moving forward with locations like Pat Brown's, which next year was supposed to turn into a completely local restaurant, and now that's kind of being threatened with the sale of Ramona's. People are really worried about a lot of things, including workers and laborers and all of that, along with plans for developing our campus restaurants into Starbucks and Panda Express and things like that students have previously voted against. So we need to make sure that we're supporting the students who have said that that's not what they want, and making sure that's kind of what happens. So I think the student board that we passed tonight is a really, really exciting step in that direction to make sure that we can talk about that, but we need to continue to speak more moving forward. Okay, thank you.
Any announcements?
Everyone, so April 11th, Cal Visa Culture Show. You go, the person who make really happy is go. I told you buy your tickets from me, only $12. If you want to go, come through, finna holla. Alright?
The day after that, there is PCN at Zellerbach Hall. $15 pre-sale, $20 at the door. Thank you for the people who liked my message. I got your tickets. Your names will be at roll call, so we just have to pick it up. Payment, you can either pay me in cash or Venmo me, and then I'll get that along. And then the week after that, Pop Hawaii is having a 32nd annual luau at iHouse. It's a great show, performance, and great food, Hawaiian food, and they usually have roast cakes. It's really good. Too bad I can't make it this week. And congrats to everyone. We're almost done with like our term, and congrats to all the candidates because y'all are almost done with the election.
Everyone, I'll be quick. We thank you to FICOM for y'all's patience. We allocated the full corporate opportunity fund, so that's exciting. Half the co-ops are going to get their checks this Friday, and the other half will get their checks the following Friday. So go BSC. The West Coast COP conference is going to be happening April 24th, 25th, 26th. I will forward you all the agenda. Technically only 3 for BSC members, so there's only a few of us in the room that qualifies for, but I'm sure we'd be gracious enough to accept fellow senators if y'all really want to come. BSC graduation on May 2nd. Lastly, I got a party happening Saturday. I am inviting you all, because I'm not sure you're elected or not. Just kidding. But real talk, 3 more meetings, I can't wait. For folks listening, it's not that this hasn't been a privilege and honor, because it has been, but it's also been trouble, we all know that. And I know personally, we're running on fumes for a little bit now, so excited to transition on to the next Senate pass. And so hopefully this Saturday, I got a beautiful deck, thankfully to Rochelle apartment complex in the BSC asset for my cheap affordable housing apartment, right? So come out, I'll provide some food and some drinks, I'll send you all the info and the address, but it'd be cool to see you all there. Thank you.
And then as an after party, we can go to Susie's Auto. Because we can more so wellness seminar, people were like, what happened to that? We were talking about a lot and then nothing, and now there's stuff again. So mark your calendars, the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. It's imperative, most important thing you should do as a senator. We're essentially making these videos that are going to be shown, and we would like panels of students in each of them, and it's going to be really hard to reach the greater community with such short notice, so that's where we step in as leaders of our groups and representatives that we were elected to be. So it'd be really cool to fill, if y'all could fill those time slots. There's like a really specific on Friday where I do need like 2 or 3 student leaders, and I'm going to be talking to specific probably exec members for that. But for the other roles, like I really want y'all involved, and we'll be sending texts and personally bothering all of you to be there. And additionally, thank you for those of you who looked at the bill and commented. I'm meeting about the bill tomorrow, and then I'll like get back to all y'all with the stuff, because I'm curious about some of the questions y'all asked. And then if we could meet, I know elections is this week, so it's been crazy. So anytime next week, I just want the bill to pass before the semester's up and running out of time. Other news, like question, more for Rob, and I guess that's not fine, but like for Senate events, like these sound really fun, but I don't have money, so can I use my discretionary fund, or is that totally like going to like, I want to go to Boston, but I can't. But yeah, I think that's like a question of like, I know, so that's probably not something I should. Yeah. And then snaps to Hannah, because she really wanted to write about abilities and matchstick and involved going on that, so that she keeps saying like, if y'all want to get involved in that, like we're not the only student voices on it. So yeah. And remember to vote, which is shoot on.
Great. So for all of you that submitted student technology apps, I believe everyone in this room got their self-funded?
No. I need to work on that. My bad. That's
Okay. Well, right now there's like a lot of little green yeses next to your name, so it should be okay. Other small announcements. In terms of, there are 2 groups that came in today that one of which I'm sure that you recognize that they're in your presentation that just happened, but one of which came in for 3 minutes at the beginning. It was Open Computing Facility. Just to reiterate, like kind of what they said, I know it's like in the meeting, not everyone's like super paying attention. They're moving into a new space in Ashland, and essentially they want to change the OCF to not only provide things like free web hosting for student groups, free printing, also a legitimate study space that's open until 10 p.m. So they're doubling the amount of computers that they're going to have. They're going to be increasing their hours by 4 hours every night, and they need a little bit more funding. And as an ASUC program, I'm sure that we can get behind that. And lastly, just like thank you all for sitting through that massive ESC presentation. It's very, very rare that engineering student groups get to come and talk to us because they have ESC FICOM for funding. So they don't really interact with the ASUC at all. It's something that I feel really sad that I haven't been working on as hard this year, but hopefully the next class will do that as their judge. Yeah, thank you all.
So I had fun getting walked on Sprout, like candidates and dating on this anyway. Depending on the ASUC. Also, does anyone know who the commencement speaker is? Since last time it was.
Is it the Game of Thrones guy or the guy?
I heard this guy theory.
I heard that's a rumor.
It's a rumor. Also, ISA is coming up, so bio, color, and Sprout next week.
Hi, I don't have that many announcements, but I just wanted to apologize for slipping out. I lost my wallet while running here, and I was just trying to find it. I canceled my cards and everything's good.
Already?
Yeah, it's not too dark for me to find it, but yeah, thank you so much for that. And yeah, I hope everyone's taking care of each other and just reaching out and the announcement stuff.
I'm sorry, Paul. My only announcement is that the decal website will have an e-signature option on facilitators now. That wasn't supposed to happen this semester, but it will, so yay.
Update on the American Sniper debacle. So we have a panel planned. I'll be sitting on it, and a few other students. I just wanted to like kind of make it clear that I'm being very intentional with the messaging of this. Like just because we're having a panel doesn't mean I'm saying that it's okay to be showing this movie, because it's not. There's other universities that have actually released public statements saying that they apologize for even thinking about showing American Sniper. And so the only reason I'm even willing to do this panel is simply for educational purposes, because the reason this video was even chosen to be shown was because top 5 when voted by the student body. So I wanted to address that, kind of like the fact that that in itself is an issue. So that's the only reason I am even down to do this panel. A lot of people that are actually doing this panel with me, like, don't even want to watch it because it's very triggering. Like the advertising in itself had like the Target thing on it. Like so, like this whole like it's a very triggering situation for a lot of people. So yeah, just want to give you an update on that, and just to clarify that I'm not like okay with this movie, even though I will be sitting in a panel. I have a bigger purpose behind doing the panel. So yeah. Yes.
My 2 announcements. The first, I put in the group meeting, but I really think we should have a transition meeting, all 20 of us and then 20 newly elected. Maybe like before our last Senate meeting for an hour, or I don't know. We're never going to find one at a time when all of us are free, but maybe something like that. And then the second thing is, please, I know not all of us are on FICOM, but take a look at Dennis's and our initial allocations, like, so that you're not surprised if, like, your clubs are underfunded or we came back with a lower proposal. And then give us your recommendations, because I want to get as much of this, in thought before the, 8-hour meetings we're going to have with these groups. So, yes, please do that.
Yeah, just one announcement. So we have different money from Spend Day, and so my office has been trying to come up with a lot of different ideas how we want to best spend it. And then probably doing half of that money to a STEM Jeopardy. We're trying to make this a really big event. And then last week of April and the first week of May have kind of like a combination of different majors coming together to have a Jeopardy game and see like which department or which organization comes out on top. So it's super fun, super exciting, and you'll get more information about that in the next couple of Senate meetings. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. Moving on to Senator Desali.
Present.
Senator Friedel.
Present.
Senator Gabrielli.
Present.
Senator Sumsky. Senator Warden.
Present.
Senator Hurd.